We know how heavy this feels. You've likely been told to push through or think differently. We know how exhausting that is. When you're fighting a battle against your own chemistry, willpower is not a cure, it's just another weight. Depression is often treated as a sadness. We view it as a biological signal. It's not a flaw in your character, it's a depletion in your system. Often, the mind is suffering simply because the body is exhausted. You cannot talk your way out of a chemical imbalance. We investigate the biology holding the state in place, the hormones, the gut health, the neurochemistry. We search for the specific, complicated problem that is unique to your physiology. We don't ask you for an immediate change. We just ask you to give us the time to adjust the chemicals, repair the gut, and support the biology. Just see how it feels when the fog lifts.
So when we talk about depression, it's very important to make sure that the body is healthy before we even target the mental health, because it's quite difficult to be focused completely on mental health when your body is falling apart. And as I said before, you can't really separate body from mind. So we need to make sure that we take care of the whole system, including the body, in order to then move on to mental health and to target specifically the root cause and also design the treatment. We see patients that have lost years to trial and error when trying out various drugs and therapies. And so therefore, looking at the genetic background, how they metabolize drugs, is extremely important. And that's why we do that with all our patients. We do something we call a pharmacogenetic testing in order to understand their genetic background and how they metabolize drugs, so that we can personalize and choose the best option for them.
Living under stress and difficult circumstances narrows the mind, so to speak, and causes what we call a tunnel vision. And I think it's important to step out of this harmful routine and to open up a space where things can be reconsidered.
Depression is often a protective mechanism, not a flaw. Here at Paracelsus, we understand it as a part of you trying to slow you down or shield you from an overwhelming or painful reality. It isn't an enemy. It's a signal that something inside needs your attention, and that whatever it is has felt too unbearable to face alone. Rather than simply medicating the symptom, we start by building safety and trust within the therapeutic relationship. From there, we use hypnotherapy, internal family systems, and ego state therapy to gently connect with that depressive part and understand what it's been trying so hard to protect you from. As the underlying wound begins to heal, that heavy blanket of depression can finally begin to soften and lift, because that part no longer has to carry so much.
Early recovery can feel over-aroused. We build a science-backed bodywork program, breathwork, therapeutic massage, and yoga, sequenced to your medical findings and therapy load. Like training, change consolidates in rest. We engineer those cycles so the deeper work sticks.
We also understand that when the weight is this heavy, you reach for relief, whether that involves alcohol, medication, or substances. We don't judge the coping mechanism. We view these as co-occurring attempts to survive the pain. We treat these issues simultaneously, detoxing the body safely while we rebuild the mind. So you don't have to solve one to fix the other. The work doesn't end when you leave, it evolves. Your same team stays connected, reviewing your sleep, focus and mood, refining what's needed as life resumes. This continuity is part of the medicine, a living bridge between treatment and real life. Evenings are where most patterns live and where they begin to change. Each client works with a live-in therapist matched carefully to temperament and goals. You are supported by more than 15 specialists, physicians, therapists, and experts, all sharing one record, one plan, and daily communication. Switzerland is not just a location, it's an active ingredient in your recovery. This country holds a centuries-old memory of health and sanctuary. We're not just a clinic, we are a part of a long tradition of restoration. There is a reason the world comes here to heal. When you arrive in Zurich, you step into a culture that values privacy and precision above all else. In a standard medical setting, the environment often works against you. It's sterile, noisy, and unfamiliar. That creates a specific kind of stress. For a high-functioning individual, a drop in your standard of living creates distraction. If you're worrying about your comfort or fighting the logistics of your stay, you're not focused on your health. That is unnecessary noise. We view comfort as a clinical necessity. We deliver our care in a private residence and partner with the Dolder Grand Spa, the best Switzerland has to offer. We know that psychological resistance is a vital diagnostic tool. It tells us where the work needs to be done. But we want to ensure that the only resistance you feel is the one that matters, the internal one. We remove every ounce of external friction, from the texture of the room to the seamlessness of the service, so that nothing stands between you and the clinical work.
We are the connective brain between your results and your plate. With our dietitians and chefs, we design a culinary healing experience you actually enjoy. Timing meals, balancing glucose, reducing inflammation, so you feel good while you eat and still feel good after.
The experience is end-to-end. We organize private aviation and meet you on the tarmac. A Bentley transfer brings you directly to the door. You do not touch a bag. You do not navigate a terminal. Our team acts as the defenders of your time. We handle the logistics, the security, and the details invisibly. When the brain finally gets what it needs, hope isn't something you have to force. It's something that returns on its own. Let us take the weight for a while. Come and rest. Speak privately with a lead physician today.